Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid preview. This is the preview to Real Sociedad against Real Madrid. La Real away from home. It's gonna be absolutely tough because of the fact that Real Sociedad always, seem to have a very good game against Real Madrid. I don't know if it's just me, but um, I don't know if there's a head-to-head somewhere. Um, Here it is. The last time we played Real Sociedad away was last season, of course. We lost 2-0. Um, and the last time we beaten them away was in 2021. A 2-0 win away. Um, if you look at the last 5 meetings in all competitions, but it's La Liga competitions, um, away and at home, Real Madrid have won 3, Real Sociedad have won 1, and there's been a draw. So obviously this is going to be tough. But if you go on Google, right, and you search this game up, the win probability, which I don't think would have changed at the time of recording, is 36% Real Sociedad, which sounds reasonable, doesn't it? 29% draw, which again sounds reasonable, but wait until you hear this. 35% Real Madrid. I know they're at home, but this is a side that are sitting 6th. You're telling me that 6th in La Liga have more chances in winning than top of La Liga at the moment? I think that is seriously weird. Of course, they won the last time they played us at home, but come on, man. I know this is away from home, obviously, but it just doesn't seem right that Real Sociedad come into this game as favorites. Doesn't seem right. But let's talk about Real Sociedad's home form. I will ignore their away form because I feel like that's pretty pointless. Their last home game was against bottom of the league Almeria, which they drew 2-2, but they did a red card. But obviously that was late into the game, and that red card gave away a penalty, which obviously dropped 2 points for them. They played Cadiz at home, which they won. They played PSG at home, which they lost. They played Mallorca at home, which they lost on penalties, but let's not really count that. They lost 3-1 at home to Villarreal. They lost 1-0 at home to Osasuna. They drew 0-0 at home to Rayo Vallecano. And they drew 1-1 at home to Alaves. That is the home games for this year. So, apart from beating Cadiz, I'm looking at this side going, this has to be a team that you can win. Because at home, they don't really pick up a lot of big points, especially against teams that they should. Rayo Vallecano should be a winnable game. Osasuna should be a winnable game at home. But they haven't been getting the 3 points or even a point against these teams. Real Madrid, if they go away to Real Sociedad and they don't get the win, something's weird. And obviously, I'll get into the lineup in just a sec, but this is gonna be a rotated squad, a rotated starting 11. You're not gonna get everyone to start, but I still believe that Real Madrid have to win this game, considering that this is a Real Sociedad side that are not fighting the top 4. They aren't, one of the top 4s. They're probably gonna finish 6th or maybe 7th. They haven't been consistent at home, which you would think that for a team like Real Sociedad are going to be, their backing. It's going to be what they live for. It's going to be what they use to win such a game. But if they don't even have that, then what do you expect? What do you expect? But I'm looking at this Real Sociedad team, and I'm going, there are players who can hurt. You're looking at Kubo, you're looking at Oyarzabal. You know, these are two tricky wingers. You're looking at still a very good overall team. They've got Geraldo Becker on loan from Union Berlin, if I'm not wrong. Zakaran, who looks like a young, decent player. Umar Sadiq, Zubimendi, you know, a player that Arsenal and Barcelona were looking at. Andre Silva, you know, one of those attackers that, you know, could turn up. They've got Mikel Merino, Beranexia, I've never really known how to say his name. Bryce Mendes, Zubelida, Aritz Elizondo and Lenormand at centre half. Alex Ramiro, a very good keeper. Javi Galan as well. And they've got obviously Alvaro Odriozola. Isn't he out on loan? I mean, Odriozola is one of those players, man. Like, we don't talk about him. Is he out on loan? Nah, I think he's joined permanently, hasn't he? Yeah, permanently. Thank God. I mean, he's gone back to Real Sociedad. You know, never really fulfilled that potential that, you know, a player like Lucas Vazquez has been able to do. But injuries wise, Real Sociedad will be missing Ayhan Munoz. I think it's Carlos Fernandez. Martin Mequalans, Hamad Traore, or Hamari Traore, sorry. Hamad Traore is a different player. My bad. Hamari Traore and Kieran Tierney, apparently, according to Google. So that's two fullbacks. You know, three fullbacks actually. And two attackers who are gonna be out. For Real Madrid, it's gonna be the same. Courtois will still be out. He will not be able to make it back. Of course, there were reports coming out that he might be able to come back. Nah. And he's starting to train, yes, but it's light training. Of course, the last time he trained, he got injured after basically a training session. He could be able to come back for the Cadets game, but really highly unlikely. Alaba, obviously, as we know. And there are going to be 3 new absentees. Rodrigo Bellingham picking up illnesses, and potentially, right, he's in my starting 11, but potentially Ferland Mendy might not make it. But speaking of my starting 11, here it is. I've got Lunin in goal because you're preparing for an important midweek game against Bayern Munich. I wouldn't want to start Kepa. Look, Kepa is going to go back to Chelsea in the summer. He's not going to sign. Lunin will be the number 2. Kepa, he's not going to play any games. Maybe the last game or 2. As of now, Lunin will still play. Of course, if we're being kind of trying to see a different team, of course, personally for me, I would love to see Kepa start, but I just can't see it, and you have to be realistic with this as well. And back 4, Mendy could well be out. If so, are we going to see Camavinga? Could we see Fran Garcia? I think Fran Garcia could start. I think that because Lucas Vazquez obviously played against Barcelona, Carvajal suspended against Bayern Munich, you start Carvajal for this game. I think this has really everything written out of it. You know, Carvajal starts, he gets a rest against, Bayern Munich. Lucas Vazquez started against Barcelona, gets a rest for this game, starts against Bayern Munich. Really simple, isn't it? The 2 centre halves, I would rest Rudiger, but obviously he could start. I will bring Militao back in officially, like, come on, and I would start Nacho as well. Similarly, I mean, I could, you know what? Tchouaméni centre back next to Militao or Nacho could be an option, or Rudiger could start with Nacho, Tchouaméni, or Militao. I think that this could go anywhere, but for the fact that Rudiger has played, obviously 120 minutes against City, 90 minutes against Barcelona, he's not got much rest. I would rest him for this game. Of course, I wouldn't say Real Sociedad are a physical side going forward. Look, they've got obviously physical players, but you look at their attackers. Umar Sadiq, is he that physical? Not really. Is Kubo that physical? Not really. Is Oyarzabal that physical? Not really. So you could afford to get rid of Rudiger for this game and start Militao and Nacho. My midfield, Tchouaméni, if you want to win, as the 6. For some reason, I could see Camavinga starting. The next two, Valverde and Cruz. I think Valverde is the engine. I think he has to start. And don't be surprised if you see Dani Ceballos start on the left centre mid spot ahead of Cruz and Modric. Front three, I was so tempted to put my front three as Arda Güler as 10, Brahim Diaz as the attacker, and Vinicius Jr. as the other attacker. But I've gone Joselu because of his physicality. You're obviously, there is going to be Lenormand and Aritz, who are physical players. I think that Arda Güler will not suit this kind of physical environment, and I wouldn't throw him in to start a game like this, and I can't really see Ancelotti doing that. So you could see Arda Güler, start maybe against, who do we have? Alaves, a team like Alaves at home. Obviously you have also got Cadiz at home, maybe, or Real Betis at home on the final game. Similarly, you could still see him start against Granada away, Villarreal away, but I think Arda Güler's season has been disappointing, I think, for himself. Obviously, we've not struggled without him because he's not going to come in and be the main player, but I think Real Madrid fans really wanted to see this player unleash some part of his potential and slowly grow with the team. You're obviously in a group and a batch of players with Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Valverde, even Militao. Obviously he got injured, but we know Militao, when he comes back, he'll immediately become the number 1 centre back next to maybe Rudiger or Alaba. But Arda Güler has not been able to perform and show that he can perform at that level yet. So it's such a shame, but Joselu, I think, starts, Brahim Diaz starts, and I wouldn't drop Vinicius. I'm sorry, but he's got a penalty against Barcelona. We would like to see his form come back, start scoring goals, and if you drop Vinicius Jr., you don't really have an experienced, or maybe not an experienced attacker. You don't have a game changer up top. If your front three is Brahim, Arda Güler, and Joselu, who is going to be the one who changes the game? No one. So, with Rodrigo out, Bellingham out, Vinicius has to step up. That's simple. Lastly, score predictions. It could go anywhere. I'm going to say Real Sociedad 1, Real Madrid 2. But let me know what thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Apologies. Hit the notification, subscribe to the channel if it's on already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.